Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Mo again. So, what we're going to do in this section actually is talk about the RSAT, which is Remote Server Administration Tools. What does that mean? Well, I have something called the RSAT that gets installed on a client machine. And from the client machine, I could manage Active Directory remotely without going to the server closet, without physically going to the server. I mean, I'm not just talking about Active Directory. I could remotely manage DNS, DHCP, any server role by installing the RSAT. Well, the first thing that I need is I have to have a client machine, which is Windows 10. And guess what? It's not part of the domain. So look what I'm going to do here. The first thing I'm going to do is join it to the domain. Give this a few seconds and scroll down, advanced system settings, computer name, change, and I'm going to join it to the domain. So this is udemy.local. Then okay. Give it a few seconds. There you go. Administrator and the password. And let's see what happens. Okay, let me click OK, OK, and restart. Well, what I need is I need to download something called the RSAT. That's what I actually need, the RSAT pack. So I'm going to go to New Windows here. I'm going to go to Google, all right, your best friend, and just type in RSAT for Windows 10, all right? And I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to download, and I'm going to choose that I'm using what? There you go, 64-bit and download. And I'm going to put it on my desktop. There we go. So now, I could have it for Windows 10. I could have it for Windows 11. It's on my physical machine. Let me just wait until this one logs in. Show you how it works. Let me just verify that it's actually there. There you go. It's right over here. I want to show you that I can't manage Active Directory without the RSAT pack, right? So this is something that I actually have to install. My main role over here in this lecture is to download the RSAT and install it and just show you how it looks like. And in our next lecture, we will see how we can remotely manage Active Directory from a Windows 10 machine. So let's give it a few more seconds until it logs in. Almost there, right? It's just the first time that you join the domain, of course, it takes a few extra seconds. I need to log on to the domain, so I'm going to put Udemy/administrator and then the actual passwords. And let's see how this works for us. So, of course, it's going to generate a new profile, right? Remember, the profile is going to be local. It's not roaming. It's just going to stay on the local machine. That's what it's going to do. So let's give this a few more seconds and see how this actually works for us. And I'm going to try and see if I could remotely manage Active Directory without pack, without this update that I'm about to install on the system itself. So let's see how it works. All right. Almost there. All right. When it's going to say almost there, that means that's it. It's actually done. I should be able to log on to the system. Right. So let's see how this works. All right. Okay. It's actually getting there. When I see that little, it's graying out, it's actually going to give me that option that it's actually almost there, that it's going to be actually logged in. Without this, it's going to be trouble. It's like I have to go to my physical server and manage Active Directory, manage all the roles from there. But no, why not do it from a client machine, right? That's the beauty about it. There you go. I should be able to be logged in right now. So watch this. If I go to the search over here, and I just type the word active, am I going to see Active Directory? No, I don't. Right? Okay. If I type DNS, will I see DNS? No, I don't. Well, why? Because I need to drag this right over here. Let me see if I could drag and drop. No. How about if I copy and paste? Oh, come on. You should be able to do it. Copy and paste. Copy. Come on. There you go. Eventually it got there. Okay. I'm going to launch it. It's just an update, folks. It's just an actual update. I'm going to click on yes. And I accept. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to pause the video for a moment and we'll be back soon. All right. So we'll see you guys in a moment. All right, folks, it looks like it finished. So I'm going to go ahead and click on close. As you see, but look what's going to happen right now. So if I type the word active, oh, there you go. I could see Active Directory used in computers, domains and trust, sites and services. If I type, for example, DNS, I could see that too. I'm actually interested in active. So I'm going to type Active Directory, users, and computers. And look, I have full control. Nothing is grayed out. That's what I wanted to show you in this lecture, that I could actually see the Active Directory users and computers. So in our next lecture, we're going to see how we could actually work on it remotely. So we'll see you folks in a moment. All right, everybody. Bye. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Mo again. So, what I'm doing this actual lecture, I want to see if I could remotely manage Active Directory from the client machine. So, I'm actually on the Windows 10 machine. I'm actually delete all these different resources. So, let me see if I can delete HR. I don't think I could because the check mark is there, right? So, watch this. I want to try and show you like I could do exactly the same thing from the client machine. Whatever I do here will be affecting the server. So I have to go to View, Advanced Features, HR, and then go to the PCs, Properties, Object tab, remove the check mark, then OK. And do the same thing with the users. Object tab, remove the check mark, OK. And do the same thing for the HR OU. Watch this. Object tab, remove the check mark, then OK. Now I'm going to delete the HR OU. Then I'm going to click yes and yes. All right. I'm going to do the same thing with the sales. Let me go to the properties, object tab, and remove the check mark from the box, then OK. And I'm going to delete sales. It's like I'm actually on the server, but I'm doing this from the client. And then I'm going to go to tech, properties, all right, object tab, remove the check mark, then OK, and delete from here. So everything is gone. So if I go to view, advanced features, everything is normal. If I go to my actual domain controller, which is the actual server, let's take a look at this. Let me actually log on and make sure everything actually synced. So I'm going to put the password and let me refresh over here. There you go. Everything is gone. So what I'm about to do right now is I want to actually create objects from my Windows 10 machine because I'm going to actually do this to prepare for our next lecture, which is delegation for junior admins. So look what I'm going to do here. I'm going to create an OU. Let's call this, let's say, sales, right? I'm going to create another OU and call it HR. And I'm going to create another OU and call it tech. Under the tech OU, I'm going to have a few admins. Let's call this admin one. All right. These are junior administrators, admin one. I don't need the password. All right. I'm just leaving it blank and finished. And I'm going to do admin two. We're going to be talking about password policies and see how this actually works for us. And then I'm going to do admin three. Admin three. And admin four. All right. And admin four, as you see. And finish. Under sales, I'm going to create a few users. Watch this. S1, S1, S2. And this, all of this will be populated on where? On the actual server, right? And I'm going to create a group and call it SGRP. Same thing. I'm going to go to HR, create a few users, H1. You'll see why I'm doing this. And remove the check mark from the box and create H2. And finish, right? So I do have computers, I have organizational units, I have a few things here and there. I just forgot to create the group. All right, HGRP. So what I want to do is, if I'm logged in as administrator, that's why I have full control. If I check my server, right, watch this. Here's actually I'm on my server and refresh. I have everything. HR, everything is there. Sales, everything is there. Tech, and I have my actual users. If I go to my Windows 10 machine, let me just show you, and sign out and sign on, let's say as admin one, I want to see what kind of permissions do I actually have, right? Isn't that something we want to see? So let's see how this actually works for us. So I'm going to do other user, admin one, and log on. By default, I won't be able to make any system-wide changes, but I want to show you if this is a machine that a regular user has and it has the RSAT pack installed, I want to show you what the user can actually see. which is kind of dangerous, just to let you know. So let's give it a few more seconds and see how this actually works for us. Let's give it a moment. Almost there, right? And you'll be surprised, like a regular user, because look, let me just show you here while waiting for this. If I go to the users, I have a group called domain users. If you're just a member of this group, you have read access only. Remember, if I want to give you full control to the entire domain, I add you to the domain admins group, and it's only administrator there. And if I add you to the enterprise admins group, that means you have full control to the entire forest, right? Yes. So let me go back over here and wait until it logs in so I can see what kind of permissions do I actually have as admin one, which is a regular user. So if I go over here, let me give it a moment, and I just type in Active Directory. Do I see users and computers? Yes, I do. Let me open it. Can I open it? Yes, I can. Isn't that dangerous? Right? Watch this. I go to HR. Can I read? Look, everything is grayed out. Can I reset a password? Of course not. You have read access. Everything is access is denied. So in our next lecture, I want to show you how we could delegate and remove control of like during the RSAT process on the client machine. So we'll see you folks in a moment in another later lecture soon. All right, everyone. Bye. All right, folks, welcome back. It's Mo again. So we're going to continue with the RSAT, see how I could actually delegate control to junior admins. I don't want to give a user domain admin rights where they have full control to everything. It's only me. That's the main guy. So I have other admins where some of them may be able to reset passwords, create and delete, manage user accounts, create, delete groups, right? That's what I want to do. I could actually do it from the client machine. I just need to be logged in as administrator. So I'm going to do Udemy, watch this, slash administrator, and the password. And see how this actually works for us. And I'll delegate control from the client machine. It doesn't really matter right now if I'm on the client machine or the server, as long as I'm logged in with an account that has full control to the domain. I'm going to look at a full screen and I'm going to type active. Watch this. And I'm going to open users and computers and give it a few seconds. There we go. Now watch this. So I'm going to go ahead and do the following. I have my junior admins, which are admin one, two, three, and four. I'm going to right click on the domain. Watch this. I'm right clicking on the domain, delegate control. All right. Next, if I want to do a group, I could add the group. I'm just going to add admin one and go next. And I just want admin one to be able to create, delete, and manage user accounts. And look at this. There's reset password. Look at all these different options, right? Everything is in here. If it's not in the list over here, I would have to customize. So create, delete, and manage user accounts. So I'm going to go next and finish. That's admin one to the domain level. Look what I'm going to do here. I'm going to right click on the HROU, delegate control, all right? Next, I'm going to add admin 2, okay? But this time, I'm going to do as create, delete, manage user accounts only to that OU so you can see the difference. So admin 1 has ability to create and delete manage user accounts to the entire domain, but admin 2 only can do it to the HROU. So first of all, let's sign out as admin 1. So I'm going to sign in as admin 1 and see what I could actually do. Only user objects. So watch this, admin 1, log on. Let me close and open again. All right. So watch this. I'm going to type the word active users and computers, and I should be able to create. Look, only one is available is the user. Everything else is grayed out. So I could create users everywhere. So if I go to HR and click on the one face over here, if I try to reset a password, right? Watch this. I should be able to. That's managing a user. I want to create a third user, H3. All right. H3. And remove the check mark from the box and finish. I was able to. If I go to sales, can I create S3? Right? I good. Right. If I go to back to HR, can I delete H1? All right. I should be able to. If I go to sales, can I delete S1? I could create, delete, and manage accounts, reset passwords, and everything as you see for the entire domain, right? I could do that. Okay, let me log on as admin 2 and show you what I can do as admin 2. So let me log on. Okay, there you go, admin 2, and there you go. Let's give it a few seconds. And I should only be able to create, delete, and manage user accounts to a specific OU, which is that HROU, right? That's the difference that we actually see, just to the HROU. So let's give this a moment and see how this actually works for us. Let's give it a few more seconds and test it with admin 2, right? That's what we want to see. Admin 2. Only user accounts, right? Nothing else. All right. These are junior admins, as you see, right? Junior administrators. I'm not trying to give them full control of the entire domain itself. So only junior admins, as you see. Let's give it a few more seconds. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. It's actually good, right? Lots of labs, lots of hands on. That's what you need. All right. That's what you actually need. All right. Almost there. That means it's logged on. Let me go to Active Directory. There we go. And open users and computers. And there we go. And see how this actually works for us. So look, if I go to my domain, there's no one face. It's grayed out. Everything is. If I go to sales, it's grayed out. If I go to HR, there you go. So I'm going to create H4. See that? H4. Remove checkmark from box and finish. That's what I have over here, H4. I could reset passwords, right? As you see, manage in the OU itself. If I go to sales, I cannot reset passwords. So watch this. If I right click, reset password, I can't. Access denied. I only have the ability to create manage users only under that specific OU. Perfect. Nice. So I'm going to sign out, sign back in as administrator so I could delegate more control. Watch this. Then I'll show you how we could view delegation and remove delegation. So I'm going to log in to Udemy/administrator and put the password. Oh, looks like I did not put the password right. All right. Let's see. There we go. Look what I'm going to do this time. Let's give it a moment. There you go. Okay. I'm going to type the word active, right? Right over here. So I could open users and computers. So we know the difference between the domain level and the actual OU level itself, right? So we could see the actual difference between the domain level and the OU level. So what I want to do is I want to right click on the domain level, delegate control, go next, add, and I'm going to add which user? Admin 3, and go next and do reset user password. Then go next. So the only thing that admin 3 can do, reset passwords on the entire domain. So I'm going to sign out and test it. Give it a few seconds. All the user, admin 3, and then put no password. All right. It's going to take probably a minute. Then we'll see how we could view and remove the delegation. This is extremely important for a big enterprise, right? Your junior admins, including you as the main admin, you're going to have a client machine, either Windows 10 or Windows 11. And based on your permission, you should be able to manage Active Directory checks, right? That's the main important thing. I never try to work on a server. I try to do everything from a client machine. I remote into the server, maybe through RSAT, maybe remote desktop. I leave the server alone. I try to minimize, working on an actual physical server. Sensitive, all right? You try to do everything from a client machine. That's what you try to do. Let's give it a moment and see how this actually works for us. All right, it's almost there. All right. Almost there. There you go. All right. So let's see. I should be able to reset passwords everywhere. I should not be able to create user objects, manage. I only can reset passwords. So if I type in active users and computers, there we go. And look, everything is grayed out. I cannot create users. Everything is grayed out. See that? Everything is grayed out, but I could right click and reset passwords. See that? Hold on. Oh, the password has been changed. Okay, I was like, okay, what actually happened over here? I don't need to unlock, just reset password. There you go. Look what happened. Let me show you what happened. If I right click, I was like, what? If I say unlock and create, okay, it tells me an error message. It's like, you can't unlock accounts. You could reset password. This is actually good that we actually seen this. So I remove this. I don't get the error message. Do you see that? Because I only can reset password. This is perfect, actually. Right? So this is good. Okay, good. I'm going to sign out and this time go back in as administrator and delegate control to admin for a specific task, something that I don't see by default from the main menu. And I'll show you what I mean right now. So let me go back into Udemy slash administrator and put the password and give this a moment. Put the word active, all right? And I'm going to open users and computers. Right click on the domain, delegate control, right? Next, add admin for. I'm not going to look at the default here. Create, delete, manage, reset, password. Look, how about if something is not on the list? You create a custom task and I go next. And I say only the following objects. Let's say I'm looking for group objects, right? And I want the ability to create and delete. See that? And I go next. And I want to give full control. You could actually reset, you could do everything basically. I could even customize that. Then go next and finish. Okay, so let me sign out and sign in as admin 4 and see how this actually works for us. Other user, admin 4, and log on and see how this actually works for us. All right, almost there. All right, almost there. Let's give this a moment and see how this actually works for us. All right. Last one to test. Then we'll see how we could view and remove the actual delegation. And I could even show you how we could do manual delegation, which is a little bit more complex. I'd rather go through the wizard itself. It's the best approach, I would say so. All right, almost there. Okay, a few more seconds, and it should be fine. All right, almost there. That means it's actually logged in. Okay, good. So what I'm going to type over here is the word active. Watch this. I'm just typing active. I'm going to open users and computers. Where is it? Right over here. And this time, when I click on anywhere, I'm going to see the group. See, it's not grayed out. See that? That means it's actually good. I go to HR, the group is there. I could create groups, right? So this is what? HR. Let me call this another group, HGRP2. See that? I go to sales. Only the group is there. Or if I right click and I choose new, only group is there, all right, as GRP2. And I go to text, same thing, only the group is there. I cannot do anything else except for creating, deleting, and managing groups. That's the delegation. I could do anything that I actually want to give control to my junior admin. Well, what I want to do is let me minimize this, go back to my server, and how can I view the delegation? I could do it from a client machine. I just want to go back to the server. I miss the server. Let me just take a look and see here. Let me look at a full screen. If I right click on the domain and choose properties, there's no action security tab. So I have to do view, advanced features, right click on the domain, properties, and I see the security tab, right? And I can see the users. Oh, admin 1, admin 3, admin 4. Do you see that? So that's where I actually remove them. If I want to see permissions, I click on advanced, give it a few seconds, and I could see exactly what permissions each one has. So if I scroll down, I'm looking for, where is it? Okay, admin 3 can reset passwords. You see that? Okay, then I look for others and I can see exactly what's happening over here. So I could remove them from the list. That's how I could remove, just remove. So I removed admin 3. You see that? That's what I just actually did. So that you could remove delegation. So if I go, let's say, or I could do it from here. If I go to HR and go properties, right? And click on the security, I could see in the list over here. So I could remove it from here also, right? Just from the list. So that's how I could remove delegation. Oh, this is actually coming from the parent. So it's telling me like it's actually inherited, right? I could disable inheritance. Then when I click OK, I go yes. I could say remove admin 4. Now it's gone. Remove admin 1. Now it's gone. Right? It's because whatever I do on the domain level affects the organizational units themselves. If I don't want somebody to read, because by default they could read, I could put a check mark and deny for reads for everyone. But normally I install the RSAT pack on a machine, and who actually uses that is a junior administrator, not typical users. The users don't have full control to the system. That means they cannot install any application. So that's it for the RSAT pack. All right. So we'll see you folks in a moment. All right, guys. Then later, then everybody. Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Mo again. In this section, we're going to be talking about different special groups. We know we covered the RSAT, which means I delegate control to specific tasks for a junior admin. Well, in this case, what I'm going to be actually doing is I'm going to talk about some specific groups: domain admins, enterprise admins, domain users, and the local administrators group. I know we've been talking about this a lot, but I want to actually perform the actual lab for that. So watch this. Let me go back to my server. I have an actual OU called admins. I'm going to create a few user accounts. Let's say 3 accounts. All right. So I'm going to call this, let's say, admin 1, or let's say administrator 1. Okay. Just like an actual administrator. So we know the difference. Administrator 1, and go next. Remove the check mark from the box. Next and finish. I'm going to create administrator 2, right? And administrator 3. So you can see the difference between all these different accounts. And administrator 3. So remember, when I do a copy, it copies everything. It's like a template. Administrator 3. And let me log on and show you in a moment what I'm going to be looking at right now. So by default, if I go to the users container and I double click on domain users, what is domain users? If you're just a member of the domain users, that means you only have read access. You see that? By default, everybody goes to the domain users. So watch this. If I go to both 10 machines and I try to log on as administrator 1, I only have user rights everywhere. Okay. I'm not going to have any type of full control. And let me go to the second 10 machine and log on as administrator 1. And if I try to log on to the domain controller as administrator 1, it's not going to work. For me to log on to a domain controller, I better have full control, which means at least I need domain admin rights. So watch this. Let me just go ahead and log in here as administrator 1 and no password. Look at the error message. I can't. I need to be a member of the domain admin groups to actually do this. Let me go back in as administrator and see how this actually works out for us. What I'm going to do is, while we're waiting for both clients, I'm going to add administrator 2 to the domain admins group. Watch this. So I'm going to go to users and computers. I don't need to do enterprise admins because I only have one actual domain. Remember, enterprise admins is at the forest level, which is the parent level, which is right over here. If you're a member of enterprise admins, that means you have full control to the entire forest. And if you're a member of domain admins, you have full control just to that domain. So I'm going to double click domain admins, members, and I'm going to add administrator 2. See that? Administrator 2. Then OK. So if I go back, how do I know if I have full control to a system or not? If I could change the computer name, that means I have full control to the system. So if I go properties and I try to change the actual computer name, so I scroll down and say advanced system settings. There you go. User account control. I can't. This is a second 10 machine. Let me go to the first 10 machine and see. Go to this PC, properties. And I'm going to scroll down and do advanced system settings. And I should get the same thing, user account control. I'm a member of the domain users group right now. Watch this. If I double click domain users, if I'm just a member of this group, I only have read access. Remember what I did? I added administrator 2 to the domain admins. So let me try and log in as administrator 2 to both Windows 10 machines. And you're going to see that I'm going to have full control. Let's do it on this computer too. So you can see the difference between both and on the domain controller. All right. So I'm going to sign out and sign on as what? Administrator 2. So let me go ahead and do this administrator 2, which is a member of the domain admins group. Oh, it looks like, oh, the password is blank. There we go. And if I try to log in over here as administrator 2, look what's going to happen. I should have full control everywhere. If I could log on to a domain controller, guess what? That means I have full control everywhere. It means I have full control to the entire domain. But I could still be a member of the local administrator group of that server, which means I only have full control to that server. Let me log on as administrator 2. And let's see. So if I check my domain controller, if I could log on, that means I have full control to this machine. Let me check my other accounts. So I should have full control everywhere, both 10 machines, because I'm a member. Remember this? I'm a member of the domain admins. So if I go over here, users and computers, and take a look at the configuration. So if I go to the users container and I check the domain admins, members, administrator 2 is a member of that. Again, as I said, I don't have to do enterprise because I only have one domain right now. Let me minimize this. It's almost there. All right. So we can test the actual permissions. And then I want to do a local administrators group, which means you only have full control just to that box. So we can see the administrators group. Well, here, let's take a look. Click on this, right click this PC, properties, and go ahead and look at the advanced system settings. And look, I didn't get the message. I have full control to the system. Okay, good. And if I go right over here and do the same thing, watch this. Go to this PC, properties, and click on advanced system settings. I should not get a message. I have full control everywhere. See that? I could change. Well, let me show you what I'm going to do on one machine. So I'm going to go to this local machine, which is 10.1, and add administrator 3 to the local administrator group. That means administrator 3 will only have full control just to this box. Here, see that? Administrators, add administrator 3. Administrator 3. So administrator 3 is going to have full control only on this machine. Let's take a look and just sign out and sign out over here. I'm going to log on as administrator 3 to both boxes. And you can see administrator 3 is going to have full control only to the first 10 machine. So let's take a look and see. Other user, administrator 3, and let me log on, all right? And same thing over here, administrator 3, let me log on. So you can see the difference. Of course, I cannot log on as administrator 3 to the domain controller. Let me try that. I'm going to sign out and try to sign on as administrator 3, and it's not going to work. Because for me to log on to a DC, I have to have full control to that DC itself. And this only has full control to a local machine. Did it work? That's weird. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Which user did I log in with? That was like actually awkward. Let me see again. Control delete. Oh, it's administrator. I was like, what? It looks like the numlock was not on. Administrator 3. There we go. See, I can't. Okay, good. That was funny. All right, let's take a look and see on these machines over here. So I should have full control to this machine over here, the first 10 machine, and I should only have read access to the second 10 machine. That's what I want to actually check. Let's give it a moment. All right. And let me click on the folder. Right click this PC, properties, right? Watch this. Advanced system settings, and computer name and change. And look at this, I could change, but look at this. Administrator 3 is not going to be able to change the computer name on this box. Let's give this a moment. Advanced system settings, and look, there you go. Okay, so remember, there's domain admins, enterprise admins, administrators, domain users. So now we know the difference between all of them. So we're going to see you in our next section, which is GPOs. And guess what? I still need one server and two clients. So I'm going to need server one and the 10 machines, and you'll see why. So we'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Bye. Later.